Okay, guys, so we talked about focus and directrix already. So let's go ahead and write equations using our focus and directrix. And we're going to use the skills that we did last class where we graphed the important attributes first, and that's going to help us. The important thing is to remember that we are going to use vertex form of our parabola. Y equals, or f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k. Remember, h and k always represent our vertex. And also last class, we talked about our p-value, the distance from the vertex to the focus or the distance from the vertex to the directrix. That p-value, use this formula right here, but we rearranged it on our paper so that we could find our a value. So there's a mistake here. So sorry. This should be the absolute value of a is equal to 1 over 4p. So make that correction on your note sheet and make note of it right now. Okay, let's see what information we are given. For our first problem, it says write the equation of a quadratic given a p-value of 2 and a vertex of -2, 3. Now, I want you guys in the habit of always labeling your vertex h and k. So we see vertex, we know, oop, that's our h value and our k value. All right, so let's go ahead and plot points. -2, +3 is our vertex. So I'm going to come down here to my graph, and I'm going to go left 2 and up 3. That right there is our vertex. I'll label it a V. We know that our parabola has a p-value of 3, but which direction does it open? We don't know. Which brings me to my next mistake. I should have told you guys that this parabola opens down. So go ahead and add that to your note sheet. There wasn't enough information. So I apologize. I should have told you that our parabola opens down. So I'm going to go ahead and do a rough sketch right now. Starting at the vertex, our parabola is going to open down. I don't care how wide or narrow it is. It's irrelevant at this point. I'm just using this as a visual to help me. Now, if my parabola opens down, that means my focus is going to be down. And because the p-value was 3, I know I need to move down 1, 2, 3 steps. So our focus, and you can write this on your paper, our focus is located at -2, 0. Again, because our p-value that was given to us was 3. So if I know that our p-value is 3 and our focus is 3 steps below, that means our directrix is going to be 3 steps above. So start at your vertex and go up 1, 2, 3. We're going to draw our horizontal directrix right here. It cuts through our y-axis at +6. That means y equals 6 will always be the value anywhere we are on that horizontal line. That's our directrix. Directrix. Okay, so now we're going to write our equation. If you'll remember, we are going to use the formula y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. The 3 values that you will always be replacing, the variables you will be replacing are the a value, the h value, and the k value. We already know h and k, they were given to us, but we've got to solve for a. What is the formula that we use for a? We know the absolute value of a is equal to 1 over 4 times p. And we were given the p-value of 2. So I know the absolute value of a is going to be equal to 1 over 4 times 2, which of course my numerator is 1. My denominator, 4 times 2, is 8. But that's the absolute value of a. So we need to determine, should our a value be positive or negative? And when I look at this graph, I remind myself, oh yeah, my graph is opening down. So my a value needs to be negative. Our a value is going to be a -1/8. So now we have everything we need to sub into our equation. So I'm going to scroll back up here. I know that my y value should equal a -1/8 and then times, what is x minus h? That is just going to be x minus a negative 2. What does minus and negative really mean? It means plus 2. All of that is squared, and then we're going to add our k value. Our k value is 3, so plus 3. And that right there is our equation of the parabola with the given information. All right, let's look at our next example, example 2. It says write the equation of a quadratic given a vertex of 1, 3 and a directrix of y equals 1.5. So let's graph. The vertex is 1, 3. So let me draw a vertex at positive 1, positive 3. Put the letter V next to it so I don't forget what that is. And our directrix, was y equals 1.5. So I need to go up to my y-axis, and I am going to draw our horizontal line at y equals 1.5. So I'm on my y-axis. 1.5 is halfway in between 1 and 2. It's about right there. So I'm going to sketch that line all the way across. Hey, that was kind of straight. So our directrix is y equals 1.5. By looking at this, I know that my vertex is always in the middle. We know that. It's in between our focus and our directrix. That means our focus has to go up, but we need to figure out how many steps up our focus needs to be. Well, the p-value, or the distance between our vertex and our directrix, is 1.5 steps. P equals 1.5. It's 1.5 steps apart. So start from your vertex and count up 1.5 steps. And there is our focus. So our focus is located at 1, 4.5. That is our focus. All right, so let's use this information to write our equation. So we know our equation is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. All right, so what is it? What are the 3 values that we always need to substitute in? Our a value, our h value, and our k value. And of course, we were given h and k. Make sure you label them. But we've got to figure out what our a value is. So we'll use our formula. The absolute value of a equals 1 over 4p. Now in this problem, the p-value wasn't given to us, but we did figure out what it was. Our p-value was 1.5. We wrote it down right there. So we're just going to sub that value back in. The absolute value of a equals 1 over 4 times 1.5. So our numerator is 1. Our denominator is just 4 times 1.5, which gives us 6. Now that's just the absolute value of a. We need to determine if it's a positive or a negative. So when we look at this parabola, if our focus is up, we know that our vertex, starting from our vertex, our parabola will open up. Oops, I wanted purple. We're going to open up. Remember, your parabola can never cross your directrix. They will never intersect. So that's telling us that our a value is going to be positive. So our a value is equal to positive 1/6. So now we have all the information we need to plug it back into our equation. Y equals, our a value is a positive 1/6 times x minus h squared. So x minus our h value of 1 squared, and then our k value is 3, so plus 3. Don't forget that no matter what, when you sub in your h value, the sign is always going to be opposite. All right, something a little bit different. We have 2 more examples, but we don't necessarily always have to have a parabola that opens up or down. Our parabola can open left and right. You know what? Let's make this a second video so you guys can take a break.